Today on Ride we're taking a long, close look at the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000, a heavyweight cruiser that refuses to blend into the background. This motorcycle is all about presence, power, and identity. The moment you see it parked or hear its step growl, you understand what Kawasaki is going for here, a machine that commands respect not only for its size but for the riding experience it delivers. The Vulcan name has always carried weight in the cruiser world, but this model, with its 2-liter V-twin, takes things to another level. It's not the bike for everyone, and Kawasaki knows that. This is aimed at the rider who wants torque you can feel in your chest, a stance that demands attention, and a ride that makes long stretches of highway melt away. At the heart of the Vulcan 2000 is its massive 2053cc liquid-cooled V-twin engine. That displacement figure alone makes it one of the largest production motorcycle engines you'll find today, and Kawasaki has tuned it to deliver exactly what cruiser riders crave: low-end torque and relentless pull. With peak torque in the neighborhood of 140 foot-pounds at around 3,000 RPM, you don't need to wind the spike up to feel its muscle. Roll on the throttle and just about any gear and the Vulcan surges forward with authority. Horsepower hovers in the 110 to 120 range, which might not sound like superbike numbers, but the way it's delivered is what makes it intoxicating. It's not about chasing red lines, it's about that instant grunt that carries you forward with almost effortless force. Backing up that big V-twin is a 5-speed gearbox and belt final drive. The gearing is long and relaxed, fitting for a cruiser of this size, and shifts are solid and deliberate. This isn't a bike you flick around in tight city corners, but out on the open road the transmission and drive system feel perfectly suited to long stretches of cruising. The clutch has a heavy, mechanical feel, reminding you of the sheer scale of what you're controlling. It's the sort of mechanical honesty many riders appreciate, the feeling that there's a big machine working beneath you rather than a small engine hidden under bodywork. The chassis is equally up to the task of holding this behemoth together. A large steel double cradle frame and hefty swing arm keep things planted, while suspension duties are handled by a 49mm telescopic fork up front and a single rear shock with adjustable preload and rebound damping. It's not sport bike sharp, and it doesn't need to be. What it offers instead is stability, predictability, and a smooth ride once you're rolling. Braking is handled by dual discs up front and a large single disc at the rear, and while no one would call this a featherweight machine, the stopping power feels reassuring. Kawasaki knew a bike this heavy with this much torque needed serious anchors, and the Vulcan delivers. Design is where this motorcycle arguably makes its biggest statement. The silhouette is long, low, and unmistakably cruiser, with a sweeping fuel tank that seems to stretch forever, wide handlebars, forward-set controls, and plenty of chrome accents. The headlight nacelle up front gives it a bold face, while the massive rear tire anchors the look at the back. Exhaust pipes are long, slash-cut, and unapologetically loud in both style and tone. The seat sits low, making the bike accessible in terms of reach, and once you're in position you feel like part of the machine rather than perched on top of it. The ergonomics encourage a relaxed, stretched-out posture, perfect for highway cruising. Footboards instead of pegs give you room to shift position during long rides, and optional accessories like windshields, saddlebags, and passenger backrests allow you to tailor the bike to your style of riding. On the road, the Vulcan 2000 is exactly what you'd expect, a heavyweight cruiser that excels on long, sweeping stretches of highway. It's rock solid in a straight line, and the engine feels like it has more than enough in reserve no matter what speed you're carrying. At over 330 kilograms dry and closer to 380 ready to ride, it's not the bike you want to thread through narrow alleys or take on tight switchbacks. But that's not its mission. Instead, it rewards smooth, confident inputs and rewards the rider with a sense of authority on the road that few motorcycles can match. Fuel capacity is around 20 liters, which translates to respectable range between stops, though consumption can climb quickly if you're heavy on the throttle. Heat from the big V-twin can be noticeable in stop-and-go traffic, but once you're moving it's manageable. A motorcycle like this is about more than numbers. The Vulcan 2000 sells an experience. It's about sitting at a stoplight and feeling the engine pulse beneath you, watching heads turn as you rumble by, and knowing you've got one of the biggest production cruiser engines available. It's about that instant surge of torque when you roll on in top gear, or the relaxed hum when you're just cruising at 60 miles per hour with the horizon stretching out ahead. Kawasaki has given riders a platform that's equal parts classic cruiser and modern engineering, and the result is a bike that feels both timeless and current. In terms of pricing, the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 starts at around $19,000 in most markets. Of course, local taxes, fees, and dealer pricing will vary, and with accessories the cost can climb quickly. That puts it firmly in the premium cruiser category, competing with offerings from Harley-Davidson, Indian, and other heavyweight manufacturers. For riders considering a machine of this caliber, though, the price is often as much about what the bike represents as what it costs. You're not just buying transportation, you're buying identity, presence, and performance wrapped in a single package. The unique selling points of the Vulcan 2000 are easy to summarize but hard to replicate. First and foremost, that engine. 2 liters of V-twin thunder is rare in the production motorcycle world, and it sets this bike apart immediately. Then there's the styling, which blends classic cruiser lines with Kawasaki's own design language, giving it a look that's both familiar and distinctive. Add in the comfort of the low seat, wide bars, and floorboards, and you've got a motorcycle that genuinely feels built for long days in the saddle. The customization options mean riders can make it their own, whether leaning into touring accessories or stripping it down for raw style. Above all, it's the road presence. The Vulcan 2000 doesn't sneak up on anyone. It announces itself, unapologetically, every time you fire it up or roll past. Of course, a bike this size comes with trade-offs. It's heavy, thirsty, and not built for agility. Parking in tight spots can be a challenge, and insurance or registration costs may run higher depending on your region. But for the rider who wants the experience Kawasaki is offering here, those compromises are part of the deal. You don't buy a Vulcan 2000 to blend in. You buy it to stand out and to enjoy every second of commanding the road from the saddle of a true heavyweight cruiser. So the question is simple, is the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 the right bike for you? If you want nimble city handling, featherweight performance, or budget running costs, probably not. But if what you're after is to work in spades, classic styling, modern reliability, and the kind of presence that can't be ignored, then this is a machine that delivers in every way. It's bold, it's brash, and it's built to make every ride feel like an occasion. For the right rider, this isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement,